South Africa's political landscape was thrown into chaos and disbelief today as entrepreneur-turned-politician Gayton McKenzie dropped a revelation so explosive that it left Parliament reeling and members of Parliament fleeing in panic. In a parliamentary session that was supposed to be routine, McKenzie announced the arrest of Gauteng Premier Panyaza Ramokgopa, sparking what many are calling a historic political earthquake. For hours afterward, journalists, citizens, and political analysts scrambled to make sense of the fallout, as South Africans tried to digest the full magnitude of what is being called one of the most shocking exposés in recent political history. The bombshell that shook Parliament. Eyewitnesses described the scene inside Parliament as unlike anything seen before. McKenzie, standing at the podium, delivered his revelation with an unusual combination of calm authority and pointed intensity. As he laid out the details of Ramokgopa's alleged misconduct, murmurs turned into gasps of shock, and the normally boisterous chamber fell into stunned silence. According to insiders, McKenzie revealed that Ramokgopa had been impeding investigations into corruption in Gauteng provincial departments, misappropriating public funds and channeling them into undisclosed accounts linked to private interests, colluding with contractors and political allies to siphon state resources without accountability. He warned that this arrest was the culmination of months of investigations and that justice had finally caught up with the Premier, despite years of political shielding and behind-the-scenes maneuvering. The reaction inside Parliament was immediate and chaotic. Reports indicate that several MPs bolted from the chamber, some visibly clutching their phones as if to contact party leadership or legal advisors. Opposition benches erupted in whispers, trying to ascertain whether this revelation could implicate other figures. Meanwhile, ANC MPs were seen huddling in clusters, their faces pale, clearly assessing the credibility and potential fallout of McKenzie's claims. Political analysts have described the scene as unprecedented, noting that rarely has a single statement caused such visible fear among elected representatives. Observers suggest that McKenzie's detailed allegations may have exposed a wider network of corruption, creating anxiety that extends far beyond Gauteng. Public reaction, shock, anger, and demand for accountability. As news of the revelation spread across social media, the public reacted with shock, outrage, and curiosity. Hashtags like #Ramokgopa arrest, #Gayton Bombshell, and #MPS flee trended for hours, sparking intense debate and speculation. Many citizens expressed anger that a sitting premier could allegedly act with impunity for so long, while others praised McKenzie for exposing a long-hidden truth. Activists and civil society organizations immediately called for a full independent investigation into Gauteng's provincial government, transparency in the allocation and management of public funds, accountability for any other officials implicated in the alleged misconduct. Communities across Gauteng, particularly those affected by mismanaged provincial projects, expressed cautious hope that McKenzie's revelations could finally lead to justice. Inside the ANC, panic is spreading. Senior leaders reportedly held emergency meetings to assess the damage and develop a strategy to control the narrative. Some party insiders have urged Ramokgopa to step aside voluntarily to avoid further embarrassment, while others fear that internal leaks could unravel the entire provincial leadership. Opposition parties, meanwhile, have seized the moment. The Democratic Alliance and other critics are demanding urgent parliamentary hearings, calling McKenzie's revelations a clear sign that corruption has reached the highest echelons of power. Analysts warn that if further evidence emerges, this scandal could reshape political alliances and power structures, not just in Gauteng but nationally. Global observers are also taking note. With South Africa's economy closely tied to governance and investor confidence, revelations of this magnitude could have far-reaching implications, including potential scrutiny from international watchdogs on corruption and governance standards, investor anxiety, particularly regarding provincial contracts and infrastructure projects, media coverage on a global scale, highlighting challenges of political accountability in South Africa, Analysts warn that if McKenzie's claims are verified, foreign governments and investors may reconsider dealings with provincial entities, further intensifying pressure on the ANC to act decisively. The nation now faces critical questions. Will Ramokgopa face immediate prosecution, or will political maneuvering delay justice? Are other senior officials implicated in the alleged misconduct, or is this an isolated case? How will McKenzie's revelations affect the next elections, and the broader balance of power between the ANC and opposition parties? Political insiders suggest that Parliament could enter weeks of tense debates, inquiries, and emergency sessions, as officials scramble to contain fallout while the public demands transparency and accountability. For South Africans, today's events are both shocking and historic.